Welcome back. In this lesson, we're going to simplify exponential expressions. We're going to concentrate on multiplying and dividing powers. Okay, we're going to do a few examples. Right, let's start with this one. Let's say we have 9 to the power x plus 2, and then times 27 times 27 to the power x minus 1 over this. Let's say we have this expression. What do we do? The first thing to do here is to make sure that the bases are in their prime factors. So 9 is 3 squared, so we change that to 3 squared, and then we have our x plus 2 here, and then 27 is what? Is 3 cubed, so we have 3 cubed, and then our exponent is still x minus 1 over, and then we have 3 to the power x minus 3, and then 81 is 3 to the power 4, like that. Okay, right. And then what do? We multiply the exponents. When raising a power to a power, we're multiplying exponents. Remember, x to the power a to the power b is the same as x to the power ab, like that. We are going to multiply this by 2. So what we get 3 to the power 2x plus 4 times, then we multiply again, 3 times x, 3 times negative 1. Then what we get 3 to the power 3x minus 3, like that. Okay, and then divided by our 3 to the power x minus 3, we have it like that. We're raising a power to a power, so we multiply exponents. That is 3 to the power 4x from 4 times x there. I would prefer maybe simplifying the numerator first and then simplifying the denominator, and then we can further simplify from that. Let's start by simplifying the numerator. So we're multiplying powers with the same base here. So we add the exponents. So it becomes 3 to the power 2x plus 4, then plus 3x minus 3, like that. Okay, there's no need to put brackets here because addition will not change anything in the brackets. So we can just add things like that. And then here we're going to have 3 then to the power x minus 3, and then plus 4x, like that. Okay, right, we have like terms 2x plus 3x, that is 5x. So we have 3 to the power 5x, and then 4 minus 3, that is 1, so we have 5x plus 1, and then over, if we add x and 4x, we get 5x, so it's 3 to the power 5x, and then the constant there is just negative 3. Right, and then we can subtract here. 5x minus 5x is 0. 1 minus negative 3 is positive 4. Or you can do it like this and say this is 3 to the power 5x plus 1, and then minus, then 5x minus 3, like that. You can do it like that. Then it becomes 3 to the power 5x plus 1 minus 5x plus 3. And then 5x minus 5x is 0, and then 1 plus 3 is 4. You have 3 to the power 4, which is equal to 81. Let's look at another example. This power is fine. The base is prime, so it's 3 to the power 2n plus 1. Then 7 is what? Still the base is prime here, so it's 7 to the power 2n minus 3. Right, over 21. We break 21 into its prime factors. Should be 3 times 7 to the power 2n. Remember, xy to the power a is equal to x to the power a, y to the power a, isn't it? So it's the same thing here. So this is a product raised to a power. So it's going to be 3 to the power 2n, and then 7 to the power 2n here. Okay, so we have 3, and then to the power 2n plus 1, then 7 to the power 2n minus 3, like that, over 3 to the power 2n, and then 7 to the power 2n. So we have the base of 3. We can deal with that. So dividing powers with the same base, we separate the exponent. So it's going to be 3 to the power 2n plus 1 minus 2n. Right? We have separated that. And then come to the powers with a base of 7. It's going to be 7, then to the power 2n minus 3, then minus 2n. We are separating this exponent. When dividing powers with the same base, subtract the exponents. Then 2n minus 2n is 0, so we remain 3 to the power 1. And then 2n minus 2n, they will remain with 7 to the power negative 3. This is just the same as 3 over 7 cubed, like that. And then what is 7 cubed? It's 343. So this is like 3 over 343. But if you leave your answer like that, it's still fine. Let's look at the next example. we're going to write 16 as a product of its prime factors. This is like 2 to the power 4, right? And then to the power a plus 1. Then 4 is 2 squared to the power 3 minus a, right? And then we have what? 8. 8 is like 2 cubed. Then we have our a plus 2. And then this one is fine. The base is already prime, right? And then we are saying 4 times a, 4 times 1. We're multiplying 4 by a plus 1 like that. So we're distributing 4. And then here 2 times 3, 2 times negative a. Here we have 3 times a, 3 times 2. Right, what do we get from that? So we're getting 2 to the power 4a plus 4 from this. And then from this one, we're getting 2 to the power 6 minus 2a. And then all this over, and then it's 2 to the power, and then 3a, and then plus 6 like that, and then 2 to the power 1 minus a. Right, all the bases are 2, so we can simplify the numerator and then simplify the denominator and then further simplify from that. Let's start with the numerator. So it's going to be 4a plus 4 plus 6 minus 2a. So 4a minus 2a, that is 2a. So we have 2 to the power 2a, and then 4 plus 6, that is 10. So we have plus 10 there. Then over the denominator, we have 3a minus a, that will be 2a. And then we have 6 plus 1, which is 7. Okay, and then we're dividing powers with the same base here, so we subtract the exponents. So it's going to be 2 to the power 2a plus 10 minus 2a plus 7. Then if you remove your bracket, you have a 2 to the power 2a plus 10 minus 2a minus 7, like that. Then 2a minus 2a is 0. 10 minus 7 is 3. So you have 2 to the power 3, which is 8. Right, let's look at this one. 243. 243 is like 3 to the power 5. So this is 3 to the power 5 to the power x, then times 3 to the power 2 minus x. Then over 27 is 3 cubed. So it's 3 to the power 3, and then to the power x plus 1, and then 3 to the power x. Right? So we can what? Distribute our 3 here. So it becomes 3x plus 3. Right? This one becomes 3 to the power 5x there. So what we have? We have 3 to the power 5x times 3 to the power 2 minus x over 3 to the power 3x plus 3, like that, okay? And then this one is still 3 to the power x, right? And then we can start by simplifying the numerator. We're just adding the exponents, 5x plus 2x minus x. So the like terms, 5x minus x there is 4x, so you have 4x there, and then plus 2, so it's plus 2 like that. And then we're done with the numerator. Let's deal with the denominator. So we have 3x plus 3 plus x. 3x plus x, that is 4x, so it's 4x here, and then plus 3 like that, okay? And then 4x minus 4x is 0. 2 minus 3 is negative 1. We can do it the long way. 3, and then 4x plus 2 minus, then 4x plus 3. And then when you remove this bracket here, it becomes 3 to the power 4x plus 2, and then minus 4x minus 3. Then 4x minus 4x is 0. 2 minus 3 is negative 1. So your answer is 3 to the power negative 1, which is like 1 over 3. That's your answer. Right, what we do with this, we can change these from radical form to exponential form. So it's going to be 81 and then to the power x over 3. Remember, this becomes the numerator. The index becomes the denominator. Remember this, 8th root of x to the power b is the same as x to the power b over a, isn't it? Remember this. So we're using that. So it's going to be 81 to the power x over 3, right, over, we do the same thing here. There is an invisible 2 here. So it's going to be 3 to the power x over 2. So it's going to be 3 to the power x over 2. 3 to the power x over 2. And then here we have 243 to the power x over 6, right? And then let's change these to prime bases. 81 is 3 to the power 4. So it's going to be 3 to the power 4, and then to the power x over 3 over 3 to the power x over 2, And then 243 is like 3 to the power 5. So it's 3 to the power 5, and then x over 6 like that. Right, raising a power to a power, we multiply the exponents. So we're going to multiply these exponents here. So it becomes 3 to the power 4 times x over 3, that is 4x over 3, right, over 3 to the power x over 2, and then times 3 to the power times 3 to the power, and then 5 times x over 6 is like 5x over 6. Right, now we can deal with this denominator here. When multiplying powers with the same base, we add the exponents. So our exponents will be like x over 2 plus 5x over 6. So we have to make this denominator to be 6. So you multiply by 3. You can say times 3 times 3. So it becomes what? 3x over 6 plus 5x over 6, which is like what? 8x over 6, which reduces to 4x over 3. You see that? So it means in the denominator, we're going to have 4x over 3. And then we have 4x over 3 in the numerator. Then denominator is going to give us this. Our exponent is 4x over 3, so it's 3, and then 4x over 3. And then we're dividing the same number here. Okay, if you want to use the laws of exponents also, you can say 4x over 3 minus 4x over 3, which is going to be 3 to the power 0, which is equal to 1. So your answer should be 1. Okay, let's do the last one. You can start by changing from radical form to exponential form. This will be like 27 and then to the power. Since there's an invisible 2 here, it means we're going to divide x minus 2 by 2. Okay, x minus 2 divided by 2. So x divided by 2, that would be x over 2. Then negative 2 divided by 2, that would be negative 1. So that is that. And then here we're going to have 25 and then x over 3 like that. Okay, and then we come here, it's going to be 15 and then x, and then we're going to divide this by 3. Okay, so what are we going to get? 2x divided by 3, that would be 2x over 3, and then negative 9 divided by 3, that would be negative 3. Okay, and then we have 3 to the power negative x over 6. Right, let's write our bases as prime factors. 27 is 3 cubed, so it's going to be 3 cubed to the power x over 2 minus 1, then times 5 squared to the power x over 3, over, and then 15 is like 3 times 5, 3 times 5, and then to the power 2x over 3 minus 3, and then 3 to the power negative x over 6. Right, and then now these 3 will multiply this and that, and then these 2 will multiply that, and then here we have a product raised to a power. Remember, ab to the power x is same as a to the power x, b to the power x. Okay, so it means it's going to be 3 to the power this exponent, and then 5 to the power this exponent here. Okay, so let's do that. So here is going to be 3 from this one. It's going to be 3 to the power 3x over 2 minus 3, and then 5 to the power 2x over 3. We're just multiplying the exponents there. Okay, and then here is a power of a product that I showed you here. So it's going to be 3 to the power 2x over 3 minus 3, and then 5 again 2x over 3 minus 3 like that, and then this remains as it is, 3 to the power negative x over 6. Now let's deal with this and that. Now what are we going to do? So we're going to add the exponents. We're going to add this and that. So let's just do it by the side here. What is it going to be? It's going to be 2x over 3 minus 3, and then minus x over 6 like that. Okay, then we can make these to have the same denominator. So we can multiply this one by 2. By 2 is going to be 4x over 6 minus, we multiply by 6, it's going to be 18 over 6, then minus x over 6. See that? And then 4x minus x, that is 3x. So it means we have 3x over 6, minus 18 over 6, that should be 3. Okay, so it means we have 1 over 2 or x over 2. Remember, this 1 over 2x is just same as x over 2. So x over 2 minus 3. Okay, that would be our exponent there. So it becomes 3 to the power 3x over 2 minus 3 times 5, and then 2x over 3, like that, and then over. Then we set this, and this will give us 3 to the power x over 2 minus 3, and then 5 to the power 2x over 3 minus 3, like that. Okay, right. Then let's deal with powers with the same base. What is 3x over 2 minus x over 2? Right, we're subtracting the exponents. So 3x over 2 minus x over 2. It's just like saying 2x over 2, isn't it? Which is x. So it means this will give us 3 to the power x. Because negative 3, these ones, negative 3 minus negative 3 will give us what? Will give us 0. Negative 3 minus negative 3, that will be negative 3 plus 3, which is 0. So it just remains 3 to the power x. And then we come to this one. 2x over 3 minus 2x over 3 is 0. So we just remain at 0. And then we say 0 here minus 3. Let's do this one this way. We say 5 to the power 2x over 3, and then minus 2x over 3 minus 3, like that. Okay. Then if you remove the bracket here, we're going to remain with 5, then 2x over 3 minus 2x over 3 plus 3. Okay, remember we still have this 3 to the power x. And then what do you get after that? This will be 0, we remain with 3. So it's just 3 to the power x times 5 to the power 3.